On the day of our engagement party, a biker punk Lu Ruyan just met suddenly barged in, wearing black leather, his eyes full of defiance. Lu Ruyan, I'm here to crash this party. Do you have the guts to leave here with me? Ignoring my attempts to stop her, Ruyan strode straight toward him. Why not? She turned to look at me, shrugging indifferently, her lips curving into a faint smile. Sorry, G. Boda, you're truly too boring. Life is short, one must live it to the fullest. Yet later, when she grew tired of the thrilling life she once chased, Ruyan sought me out again, her voice low and sad. G. Boda, I've realized it now, only a peaceful life is truly precious. I let out a faint laugh. But unfortunately, you still find me too boring, don't you? Ruyan left the party with that biker named Yi Tingcheng, throwing the engagement ring back at me before she left. G. Boda, this is worth 1,000,000 yuan, consider it compensation for your emotional damage. I grabbed her hand tightly, refusing to let go. The place is full of guests, are you sure you want to run off with him? My voice was so cold it made everyone around us hold their breath. Yi Tingcheng stood by, smirking. Come on, young Master G, stop clinging. It doesn't suit your image. Ruyan frowned, turning slightly toward him. Yi Tingcheng isn't in the same league as you, Boda, but this is my choice. Don't make things difficult. Saying that, she yanked her hand away from me and turned to leave. The roar of the motorcycle engine tore through the night as the two of them sped off out of sight, leaving the entire hall in stunned silence, with shocked faces and heavy whispers spreading. My parents were furious. The Lu family is too much. Cancel this engagement and cut off all business relations immediately. Ruyan's mother rushed forward, her voice trembling. Boda, don't be angry. She's just being impulsive. I'll talk to her as soon as she gets back. Her father was calmer, his voice deep but cold. Ruyan doesn't want to have regrets later. She's just having a little fun, don't take it to heart. I gripped the ring tightly, laughing internally. If the Lu family truly valued me, that guy Yi Tingcheng wouldn't have been able to step foot in this party. They thought that because this was just an engagement ceremony and because I was the one involved, they could act recklessly. But they forgot that I bear the name G, and the G family is not the type to be trampled on. I gave a faint smile, my voice calm. I don't waste time on petty matters, but rumors can affect the reputation of both families. I think it's best to handle this privately. I slid the contract toward Mr. Lu. My company will take over the shipment at Lianer Wharf. His face changed constantly, flushing red then turning pale. Finally, he could only grit his teeth and sign. And so, the relationship between Lu Ruyan and me officially ended. Leaving the hotel, I checked my phone and saw her new post on social media. A beautiful day, I gave up everything for you. Below it were a series of likes from her friends. I glanced through the list, unfriended them one by one, and then blocked Ruyan as well. From that moment on, Lu Ruyan completely vanished from G. Boda's life. When I returned to our shared apartment, her things were still scattered everywhere. Car models, souvenirs, collectible statues related to motorcycles. At a glance, anyone would think she was a speed enthusiast, but in reality, she used to be a calm, thoughtful, and very practical person. I don't know when everything changed, perhaps it was from the moment she became captivated by that arrogant redhead. She used to stare at her phone, her eyes lighting up as she watched him ride, looking so cool. This is real living, this is freedom. In the video, Yi Tingcheng wore tight leather pants and a black leather jacket, his red hair flying in the wind as his bike sped down the road. Ruyan was completely mesmerized, quickly becoming a fanatic fan. From chatting online, they met in real life, and from then on, she spent less and less time with me. The house gradually filled up with motorcycle-related items. I knew she was serious about him. But I never expected she would publicly humiliate me right at our own engagement ceremony. Just for a guy like that. I packed up all of Lu Ruyan's belongings and called someone to move them to her new place. Less than an hour later, my phone rang with a strange number. It was her. G. Boda, are you serious? We just called off the engagement, and you can't wait to kick me out of the house? You even sent people to bring my stuff over? You're such a bastard, what do you even take me for? I laughed coldly and replied curtly. You're worth nothing. Then I hung up and blocked the number. Immediately after, I listed the apartment for sale. I didn't want to keep anything that might remind me of her. My best friend, Muse, called, his voice full of excitement. Hey, come out for a few drinks, don't just sit around in there. I'm not in the mood, I said briefly. Boda, you lost a tree, but there's a whole forest out there. Muse chuckled. If Lu Ruyan found someone new, you can too, right? Hurry up, this place is full of beautiful girls, it'd be a waste if you didn't come. Before I could refuse, he sent a location and a photo. In the dim light of the bar, only the side profile of a girl was visible, but just a glance told me she was beautiful. A spark of excitement flashed in my heart. I got up, changed my clothes, and drove there. Seeing me walk in, Muse whistled, his eyes lighting up. Wow, Boda, you look sharp today, plenty of girls are going to fall for you tonight. If Lu Ruyan saw this, she wouldn't be able to swallow it. I curled my lips. Who cares if she regrets it or not? Exactly, screw her. Come on, drinks are on me. That table over there has 10 models, all top tier. Muse pulled me into the crowd. As I walked past, quite a few female eyes turned to look. I knew I had appeal. For 2 years with Lu Ruyan, I had forced myself to be polished, proper, and disciplined. But deep down, the fire of a man inside me had never gone out. And now, it was flaring up again. Look there, Boda. Muse nudged my arm, pointing forward. On the left is the sweet schoolgirl type, on the right is the mature lady. What's your type? I chuckled softly. I'm not a student anymore who has to pick a side. Muse smiled slyly. Spot on. Adults take it all. Before long, I was surrounded by beautiful girls. The atmosphere grew lively, music blending with laughter and chatter. But right then, a familiar voice cut through the noise. Gee Boda, what are you doing? I turned around, it was Lu Ruyan, accompanied by Yi Tingcheng and a few friends. I pretended not to hear, just looking down to sip my wine. Ruyan's voice was full of indignation. You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? We just broke up and you're already out at a bar picking up girls. Do you think doing this will get my attention? Keep dreaming, I won't look at you ever again. Yi Tingcheng laughed, his voice mocking. Come on, don't be so serious. Young Master Ji probably just misses his ex a little, you can't expect him to be rebellious like you. After all, he's a good boy. A female friend of Ruyan chimed in, her tone disdainful. That's right, a good boy showing up at a bar, I wonder what his family would think. I leaned back in my chair, draping my arm around the shoulder of a model next to me, looking at them with cold eyes. Lu Ruyan, you're delusional. If you have issues, go see a doctor. Do you think I'm trying to imitate him? Or are you just flattering him? The girl beside me laughed, her voice mocking. Darling, look at him, he's wearing fake designer gear but acting like he's all that. As for this man, she gently stroked my collar, he is authentic from head to toe. Some people would have to sell their car just to dream of being like this. Another girl chimed in. Exactly. Who does a knockoff think he is, mocking the real deal? Yi Tingcheng's face darkened, while Lu Ruyan flushed red with anger. What are you people saying? It's fine, Ruyan. Yi Tingcheng raised his voice, half joking, half serious. How can I compare to Ji Boda? His family is wealthy, while I'm just an ordinary guy, how could I compete? I nodded slightly, my voice nonchalant. At least you know your place. Ruyan was about to retort, but I cut her off. Stop bothering me. You started this, so deal with the consequences yourself. She glared at me with pure hatred, then turned and walked away. Her group of friends hurriedly chased after her. I watched Yi Tingcheng trailing behind her like a puppy and could only shake my head. Well, the show's over. A soft female voice whispered in my ear. You're very handsome, I like men like you. I turned around to meet the clear, kitten-like eyes of a girl looking at me expectantly. I laughed and gently pinched her cheek. Not bad. Keep it up. Cheers erupted around the table. Muse glanced over, winking at me approvingly. I just smiled. The bar was filled with music, laughter, and bright lights, but inside, I felt only a cold emptiness. Lu Ruyan's appearance had completely ruined my mood. Perhaps realizing I was no longer interested, the girl with the glistening cat-like eyes gently touched my hand, her voice soft. "Do you want to go for a ride?" I raised an eyebrow slightly, but before I could answer, she pulled me outside. Parked right in front of the bar was a black and gold Harley-Davidson, a masterpiece that was hard to look away from. Just one glance told me this bike was worth at least nearly $1,000,000. "Get on, handsome. Is this your bike?" I asked, half joking. "Yeah, consider it a little reward for my side job." I just gave a soft humph, took the helmet she offered, put it on, and sat on the pillion seat. The girl immediately draped a leather jacket over me. "It's cold tonight." I smiled, zipped up the jacket, and wrapped my arms around her waist as she started the engine. The roar of the motor flared up, and we sped off through the brightly lit streets. The wind rushed past, making my blood boil. The thrill I thought I had long forgotten suddenly surged back violently. "My name is Chu Ran." Her voice rang out over the engine noise. "Chu Ran?" I frowned slightly. The surname Chu wasn't common in this city, and most who bore it were from powerful families. I shook my head, dismissing the thought. If she were truly from that circle, why would she be in a mid-range bar like that? I tightened my arms slightly around her waist, and Chu Ran trembled a little. I laughed. "Little one, why so tense? Or should we go somewhere a bit more fun?" Her neck flushed red all the way to her ears. I gave her directions, and soon after, we stopped in front of a street crowded with people. She turned to look at me, grinning. "Want to crash someone else's party again, handsome?" I honestly didn't know, I just thought this was a regular hangout spot. But it turned out a street race was happening here tonight with a prize worth $10,000. As soon as we arrived, Yi Chengcheng whistled loudly. "Oh, look who it is. Check out that girl, her figure is model standard." Another guy chimed in. "Who knows, behind that helmet might be an ugly face." The whole group burst into laughter, their vulgar gazes glued to Chu Ran. Yi Chengcheng alone looked at me with hostility. Clearly, he wasn't used to having the spotlight stolen. "Handsome, here to cheer?" A guy in the group spoke in a disdainful tone. "Take off the helmet, the rules here don't allow ugly people to participate." I clearly heard the mockery and curiosity in his words. Chu Ran stepped slightly in front of me as if to protect me. I placed my hand on her shoulder, speaking softly. "It's fine. Can I join this race?" Yi Chengcheng froze for a moment, then laughed mockingly. "Don't joke around, this isn't a bar, young master." Whistles and laughter spread everywhere. I looked straight into his eyes, my voice calm but sharp. "If you can do it, I can do it. And when I win, the prize is mine. Beat me? Dream on," he growled. My confidence was clearly driving him mad. "Fine," I said slowly, "then let's race." Lu Ruyan hooked her arm around Yi Chengcheng's, her voice arrogant. "I'll raise the bet to 100,000 yuan. I'm betting everything on you, Yi Chengcheng, you have to win." He laughed loudly, kissed her noisily, and then turned to me with a triumphant look. He didn't know that under my helmet, my face remained coldly calm. I tilted my head and whispered to Chu Ran. "Cheer for me, okay?" She nodded vigorously. Yi Chengcheng and I walked our bikes to the starting line. Engines roared, the smell of burnt rubber filled the air, and cheers from the crowd grew loud. I glanced at him, smirked provocatively, and raised my pinky finger at him. The starting gun fired, and I shot forward like an arrow. The wind screamed in my ears, my blood boiling. This feeling, excitement, freedom, madness, I hadn't felt it in so long. Since those reckless years of youth, when just speed was enough to make life worth living. My parents never stopped my passion, but as I grew older, I learned to restrain myself. However, the skill was never lost. The track still belonged to me. I throttled up, leaning into every curve. The cheers from the stands were deafening, the fire in my blood raging. The bike responded perfectly as if it were part of my body. Beside me, Yi Cheng's red motorcycle was only half a bike length away. On the final lap, I suddenly accelerated. Just then, he swerved, intentionally trying to force me off. Turns out he intended to play dirty, no wonder people called him the street demon. I gently pulled the handlebars, lifting the front wheel in a perfect maneuver. The surrounding crowd screamed wildly. The unexpected move startled Yi Cheng. His bike wobbled, losing balance. Seizing the opportunity, I accelerated and pulled ahead. Immediately after, the terrifying screech of grinding metal rang out. Yi Cheng's bike crashed, sliding a long way behind me. I executed a perfect horizontal drift to come to a stop. Tires sparked against the pavement, and the crowd screamed in excitement. People ran over to help Yi Cheng up, his face was pale. I got off the bike, walked straight over, and held out my hand. Thanks for the 100,000 yuan. Lu Ruyan stood behind him, her eyes filled with suspicion as she looked at me. You aren't. I raised an eyebrow sarcastically. What's wrong? Not enough money to pay? The surrounding crowd started shouting. Come on, Miss Lu, don't be stingy. Yeah, you lost, pay up. Yi Cheng shouted furiously. Transfer it to him. Ruyan snapped out of it, fumbling to pull out her phone and opening the transfer app. But the moment she scanned the payment code, she froze, her mouth hanging open, unable to speak. G. Boda, how can it be you? Yes, it's me. Allow me to reintroduce myself, G. Boda. The surrounding atmosphere seemed to freeze. The entire crowd went silent. Yi Cheng was still sitting on the ground, his face white, stammering. No, that's impossible. You couldn't have beaten me. I leaned down, my gaze indifferent. Beating you wasn't difficult at all. Loud laughter erupted around us. Give it up, Yi Cheng, just admit defeat. That technique definitely belongs to a professional. Exactly. That drift just now was as flawless as an international racer. Ruyan stood frozen, staring at me without blinking. You, since when? I gave a faint smile. Ruyan, you never truly understood me. Let me reintroduce myself. I am G. Boda, World Motorcycle Racing Champion 5 years ago. A wave of shock spread through the crowd. I know him. He was the champion that year. That's right, G. Boda, my idol is here. I can't believe I'm meeting him in person today. Immediately, other racers rushed over, scrambling for autographs. I was surrounded. Chu Ran skillfully stood blocking beside me like a loyal bodyguard. Ruyan was pushed to the edge of the crowd, her face full of shock. As for Yi Cheng, he bowed his head, his eyes vacant, his face flushed with humiliation. I stepped closer to him, whispering. Your style isn't bad, but your basic technique is still weak. Practice more. Then I turned and walked away, not missing the burning hatred in his eyes. I knew for him, this was only the beginning. Afterward, Chu Ran and I went for a late-night meal. By the time I dropped her home, it was almost dawn. I said, it's late. You should go inside and rest. She hesitated. Can I have your number? Her eyes were full of expectation. I couldn't bear to refuse, so I took my phone and added her contact. When Chu Ran left, I returned to my apartment. Right in front of the door, the ground was strewn with cigarette butts. And there, Lu Ruyan was waiting. Seeing me, she took a deep breath, her face taut with fury. Who was that woman? Where were you two all night? She grabbed my wrist. I yanked my hand away, my voice icy. How is that any of your business? Lu Ruyan, let me remind you, it's over between us. The man you called your true love just lost miserably tonight. Why aren't you comforting him instead of looking for me? I crossed my arms, still wearing Chu Ran's jacket. Ruyan's expression suddenly changed, and she bit her lip. He's not as weak as you think. I came because I don't want you messing around with other women just because we broke up. I laughed, my voice cold. You've got some nerve, Lu Ruyan. What right do you have to say that to me? I tilted my head, my eyes contemptuous. It's late. Get lost, or I'll call the police. Nobody stalks their ex after breaking up like you. I stepped past, pushing her aside. Ryan froze, about to reach out and pull me back, but with just one sharp look from me, she immediately backed away. The door closed. Outside, her voice choked out, "G Boda." That sound was cut short by the heavy thud of the door slamming shut, leaving only silence and a lingering smell of cigarettes in the night. I couldn't clearly hear what she said, and honestly, I didn't care. I walked straight inside, fell onto the bed, and drifted off to sleep. When I woke up, my phone was blinking with over a dozen messages. All of them were from Chu Ran. "Sleep well, handsome. Good morning. Today is a beautiful day. Do you have any plans yet? Or should we go for a ride? I know a really beautiful place. Aren't you going to answer? Am I texting too much? Are you awake yet?" This girl is truly a born chatterbox. I glanced at her jacket draped over the chair and tossed it into the washing machine. Only after it was done washing did I text back. "I'm up. Want to grab lunch?" Less than 10 seconds later, the phone rang. It was Chu Ran calling. "What do you want to eat? Find a quiet place with a private menu. I don't like noise." When I was with Lu Ruyan, she always chose spicy restaurants. I hate spicy food, but because of her, I always had to comply. That was one of my small compromises, partly for affection, partly for the benefits between our two families. Now that everything is over, I'm allowed to choose what I truly like. "Okay, I know a great place. I'll come pick you up, all right?" After hanging up, I changed my clothes, retrieved her jacket, and drove off. The restaurant that day was truly perfect. The food was surprisingly delicious, and the atmosphere was exactly to my taste, luxurious and discreet. Each table was separated by clusters of fresh green plants, ensuring absolute privacy. I looked at Chu Ran through the light steam rising from the teacup, asking casually, "How much allowance do your parents give you per month?" She froze, a hint of confusion flashing in her eyes. I don't have an allowance." I calmly placed my napkin down, picking up the jacket lying next to me. This jacket is the latest model from the Lan Hui brand, priced around 36,000 yuan. The restaurant you chose has a private menu, 18,000 yuan per person. And the Harley you rode last night is worth at least nearly 1 million. Chu Ran, I'm not stupid. Stop acting. She was visibly flustered, her expression so sincere it was hard to fake. "No, I'm not lying. I earned all of this myself from my side job. I don't want to use my sister's money. I really don't want to." I looked at her, then curled my lip slightly. "I see. Every family has its own issues." She bowed her head, while I smiled softly. "Chu Ran, the young miss of the Chu conglomerate, aren't you?" Perhaps even Mu Zhe never would have guessed that this girl was the heiress of a major conglomerate. Chu Ran's expression clearly darkened. "Now that you know, are you just going to disappear? We were a team last night, right? We're friends." I replied indifferently. "Yes, friends. Once we finish eating, go home. I'm not interested in playing mind games with a rich young miss." Lunch ended in silence. I paid the bill and handed her jacket back. As I left the restaurant, I could distinctly feel her disappointed gaze following my back. Returning to the office, there was a gigantic bouquet of bright red roses on my desk. My assistant smiled teasingly. "Mr. G, 999 roses. Who is this extravagant person?" Tucked among the flowers was a small item, an exquisite motorcycle model, accompanied by a card, "To the most passionate and enthusiastic man, G Boda." The strong scent of perfume rose, so familiar it made me frown. I scoffed, giving the order. "Throw all of it away, both the bouquet and the model." Lu Ruyan never understood me. She thought roses symbolized passion, but in my eyes, they were just hollow gestures. How ironic that the one flower I hate the most is the one she always used to try and please me. In this game, she was never on my level to be a true opponent. I love bikes, I like subtle things, but when those things came from her, I felt no interest at all. I didn't expect her to come all the way to the company. Gee Boda, we need to talk. Just then, the delegation from the Chu conglomerate arrived for the meeting, led by none other than Chu Ran. Hello again, Boda. She smiled faintly. The moment Lu Ruyan saw her, her face immediately darkened. What is she doing here? Boda, don't let her fool you. She's not who you think she is. I just found out that she and Yi Tingcheng knew each other beforehand. I glanced at Chu Ran. She remained calm, completely unfazed. I'm a biker too, so what's strange about knowing Yi Tingcheng? She replied calmly. But unlike someone else, I never got involved with him just 2 days after meeting. Lu Ruyan gritted her teeth, her voice sharp. Gee Boda, you can't cooperate with someone like her. She's the type who changes her mind easily, both selfish and ungrateful. Someone in the room chuckled softly. I couldn't help it either, the corner of my mouth turning up. She's not entirely wrong. Lu Ruyan's face flushed red with rage. She grabbed my hand. Gee Boda, she's lying. Chu Ran is the one who set me up to meet Yi Tingcheng. I paused for a moment, turning to look at Chu Ran. She just shrugged, speaking calmly. Yes, I wanted to know the real reason behind it, but I'll only tell you, Boda. Coincidentally, today was also the day I had a work schedule with the Chu conglomerate, so I just nodded my agreement. Lu Ruyan panicked, her voice trembling. Boda, I know I was wrong. Please, can you give me one more chance? We can start over. All of this is her conspiracy, you can't trust her. I waved my hand, signaling, and security immediately approached, escorting Ruyan out of the meeting room. A little passion, a bout of impulsiveness, all of it fades when people face the long quietness of reality. Lu Ruyan always craved short bursts of excitement, while I only wanted to find a suitable partner, a strategic marriage. The truth is, we were never truly compatible. She only loved herself, loving the explosive feeling of a brief moment but never enduring the calm after the fireworks ended. As for me, the only thing I wanted now was to clearly know what Chu Ran was truly plotting. Only 2 people remained in the meeting room. Chu Ran slid a file folder toward me. Lu Ruyan wasn't entirely wrong, she said gently. I didn't set them up, I just mentioned that a rich young miss like her looked quite boring. Yi Tingcheng was the one who took the initiative, and I didn't expect Lu Ruyan to fall into his trap so easily. She smiled faintly. Boda, the person who should truly be your cooperative partner is me. Let's work together, I promise you won't regret it. The proposal on the table was very appealing, but I wasn't foolish enough to step into a trap without precautions. Chu Ran, the heiress of the Chu conglomerate, was a beautiful, seductive, and dangerous predator. I had asked Mu Zhe to investigate her. The result was that she did work at the bar, but in fact, that place belonged to her. A side job? What a joke. Even so, a delicious prey like this was being delivered right to my mouth. Not to taste it would be a waste. Fine, I said, my voice composed. We'll cooperate, but only in the initial phase. The rest depends on your performance. I wasn't stupid enough to refuse easy money. After reviewing the terms, I signed the contract. Chu Ran's face instantly lit up, her eyes shining with genuine pleasure. Boda, I'm very happy to work with you. I hope you won't disappoint me. She smiled brightly, her eyes curving like small crescents. When Mu Zhe found out, he almost couldn't believe it. Is that girl interested in you? She's so discreet she barely has any rumors, yet now she's actively cooperating with you. And you two share the same hobbies, don't tell me you're considering something? I just replied lightly. Let's test the waters first. I just want to see what card she's truly hiding. That's why I agreed to the initial cooperation. Just then, a rumor reached my ears. Lu Ruyan and Yi Tingcheng broke up. He couldn't handle the shock, he even sought me out. That afternoon, after work, just as I stepped out of the building, the roar of an engine sounded. The red motorcycle sped toward me, screeching to a halt right in front of me. The wheel stopped less than an inch from my knee. Yi Tingcheng looked at me, his eyes full of icy malice. Happy now, Gee Boda? Lu Ruyan broke up with me. I raised an eyebrow. How is that related to me? You beat me, and she left me too. Are you satisfied now? I laughed coldly. I have no reason to be happy. You're a loser, and so is she. I have no interest in collecting two failures. His face flushed crimson, his hands gripping the handlebars tightly. Want to race again? You're not worthy, I said curtly. I won't stoop to fighting over a woman with you. This has nothing to do with me. Go talk to Lu Ruyan about it. She chose you for the novelty. And now that the novelty is gone, she chose to leave. It's that simple. I walked around him, opened my car door, and got in. He stood frozen in the middle of the road, his eyes vacant. I don't know how much of what I said sunk in, I just hoped he was sober enough not to bother me again. When I arrived home, I was surprised to see Chu Ran standing outside my door. Since the two companies started cooperating, we met more frequently. She often invited me out for coffee or dinner to discuss work, but today she came to my house herself. Seeing me, Chu Ran smiled, holding up a small plastic bag. I brought you some groceries. You haven't eaten yet, right? Tonight, I'll cook you a delicious meal. Don't worry, my skills are trustworthy enough. I chuckled softly. Is that so? All right, let's see if you can pass this demanding judge. After breaking up with Lu Ruyan, I moved into a new luxury apartment. Everything was pristine, I hadn't even used the kitchen once. Chu Ran quickly tied on an apron, sleeves rolled up, acting as if she were familiar with the place. I leaned back on the sofa, closing my eyes, letting the clanking sounds from the kitchen serve as a backdrop to the rare quietness. Suddenly, my phone vibrated on the table. I hadn't intended to peek, but the screen lit up, showing a new message. Capture G Boda, and you capture the entire G family. Chu Ran, you're always the obedient one, I'm sure you understand my intention. The message made me freeze. The profile picture on the screen was familiar. I opened it to look closer and recognized her immediately. Chu Weili, Chu Ran's older sister, a woman notorious in the business world, ruthless, sharp, and ambitious. She had married and divorced 3 times, and each time she used marriage as a stepping stone to climb higher. Compared to that woman, my business acumen was modestly like a child learning to play chess. Looking at that message, I wasn't surprised. Chu Ran was never truly innocent. Chu Weili clearly intended to devour the G Corporation, and she planned to use her own sister as bait. It was a pity she miscalculated this time. I had to be extremely cautious. Chu Ran, don't blame me. I am G Boda, the sole heir of the G family, a clan not easily manipulated. My parents love each other, there are no affairs, no stains on our family name. I was raised with the discipline and pride of my lineage. I fully understand the burden on my shoulders. And for me, betrayal is unforgivable. Anyone who dares to use the G family as a stepping stone will pay the price, be it Lu Ruyan or Chu Ran. I sat back down at the table, and while waiting for her, I texted Mu Zhe. Investigate all information concerning Chu Ran and Chu Weili, the more detailed, the better. The phone rang almost immediately. What's wrong, Boda? Did she show her true colors? Mu Zhe asked. Not yet, but I want to prepare beforehand. I need to fully understand the opponent. I don't want to make any more mistakes. This time, I need to hold all the cards. There was silence on the other end for a few seconds, then he sighed softly. Rest assured, I always have your back. After hanging up, Chu Ran brought the food out, smiling brightly. Sorry to keep you waiting. Try some of the dish I cooked. I smiled, unexpectedly pouring 2 glasses of red wine. Let's eat together. Her eyes lit up like a little cat being rewarded. She sat down opposite me, her gaze so gentle it made it hard for others to maintain distance. We clinked glasses. During the meal, I discovered something interesting. This girl, whom I once thought only knew bars and motorcycles, was an excellent drinker. My initial plan was to get her drunk to pry out secrets, but in the end, I was the one who lost the battle. Glass after glass followed. As the intoxication surged, my mind blurred, and I didn't know when, but I collapsed into her arms. Before sinking into a drunken stupor, I could only think, what a foolish mistake. The next morning, My head was throbbing violently, and the memories of last night were hazy like smoke. I only vaguely recalled a gentle laughing voice and a lingering scent of perfume. I opened my eyes and saw Chu Ran approaching, holding a bowl of hot porridge, a faint smile on her lips. I sighed, slapping my forehead. You still haven't left? Did I say anything nonsensical last night? She pursed her lips, looking wronged. Boda. You were very fierce last night. My heart tightened, nearly suffocating. Impossible. I never do that when drunk. Chu Ran leaned closer, resting her head on my shoulder, her voice soft. Boda, you have to take responsibility for me. My entire body stiffened. I reached for my phone, intending to open the security camera feed, but she was faster, placing her hand over the screen and giggling. Just kidding. You have excellent self-control, you didn't do anything crazy or say anything foolish. Her voice was as light as the wind, so sincere it was hard to fault, yet in her eyes, there was a tiny hint of disappointment that I pretended not to notice, just quietly eating the porridge. A moment later, Chu Ran spoke up, her voice full of emotion. Boda, do you believe in love at first sight? I looked up and gave a faint smile. I only believe in lust at first sight. Chu Ran's face momentarily fell, and her voice softened. But I do believe in it. I liked you right from the first time I saw you. She looked up, her gaze gentle but hiding a hint of sadness. Back then, I was a junior in college, visiting a friend at Washington University, and I saw you, but you already had someone else by your side. I froze slightly. Finally, I understood that the first time Chu Ran saw me was the time when I was still dating Lu Ruyan. She finished telling the story. No need to avoid it, I don't intend to make things awkward for you. It's just that she wasn't worthy of you. Boda, I know you won't easily believe me, but I have never lied to you. Then she stood up. I should go now. I didn't stop her because, right at that moment, my phone vibrated with a message from Muse. Boda, no matter what's happening, I don't think Chu Ran is involved. Maybe she really is innocent. Innocent or not, it made no difference to me. Anyone who dares to touch the Ji family, whether with good or bad intentions, becomes someone I must be wary of. She and Chu Weili share the same surname, that alone was enough for me not to trust completely. However, retreating was not an option either. 3 months later, the relationship between Chu Ran and me remained purely superficial, cooperative, courteous, and non-advancing. The initial phase of the project concluded, the G Corporation surpassed its rival, capturing the largest market share. I personally met with suppliers, snatching back several important resources right under Chu Weili's nose. Finally, she started to lose her composure. I began sending out vague signals that I was looking for a strategic marriage. And soon after, Chu Ran appeared in my office. Boda, why? She asked. Her eyes were filled with hurt. I took a deep breath and gave a faint smile. The Chu conglomerate is impressive, but you shouldn't let your sister sink her claws into the foundation of my company. Chu Weili wanted to use you to lure me, but unfortunately, you don't have the nerve to do that. I threw the file folder onto the desk, containing all the investigation results I had collected. Chu Ran's face turned pale. No, that wasn't my intention. I didn't know about this at all. I know, I said calmly, and I also understand that you're caught in an awkward situation. But you are part of the Chu family, Chu Weili's sister. I cannot risk gambling on that. If one day our two sides clash, I cannot trust that you will stand by me. I looked straight into her eyes, my voice resolute. Chu Ran, I can't gamble. Neither can you, both of us carry too much on our shoulders. I have hundreds of employees, hundreds of families relying on me. I can't let a vague bit of affection jeopardize everything. Chu Ran fell silent, her face white, her voice trembling. I understand, but please believe me, I never intended to harm the Ji family. Just give me a few days, I will prove it. After saying that, she turned and left before I could reply. The moment she walked out the door, Lu Ruyan barged in. I frowned, and my assistant looked as if he wanted to cry. Mr. Ji, I couldn't stop her. I motioned for him to leave, while Lu Ruyan rushed straight up, her voice urgent. Boda, that Chu Ran woman is untrustworthy. I heard your company's Western project is having capital troubles, right? I can help you. I raised my hand to stop her. This has nothing to do with you. Are you crazy? I'm trying to help you. Thank you. But I don't need it. In this business war, if the Chu family was the attacker, Lu Ruyan was the vulture circling, waiting to tear apart the fallen. I stood up, my voice cold. I already told you, if you set foot in this building again, I won't hold back. Now get out. She left with a furious face, trembling with resentment. Did they think I was easily trampled? Did they think this Ji Boda had no fire in him? I hadn't expected Chu Ran to be truly serious this time. I immediately counterattacked, canceling the entire Western District project, reducing its value to a minimum, and sending the proposal directly to the City Planning Committee. I revised the entire design, turning it into a key project, a new symbol for the city. I voluntarily reduced the profit margin by 30%, in exchange for absolute support from the government. When the news reached Chu Weili, I heard she was so furious she smashed several valuable antique vases. And when Chu Ran came to see me, the red marks of a handprint were still clearly visible on her cheek. She looked at me with eyes full of pain. Boda, I have left the Chu family. I have nothing left. Starting from scratch. I just want to know if you can give me a place to stay. She gently took my hand, shaking it slightly. My sister called me an idiot for falling in love and kicked me out of the house. She doesn't need me anymore. Can you let me stay? I eat very little, I won't be a bother to you. I silently looked at her for a moment. Chu Ran had used her own actions to prove her loyalty. She had helped me escape the trap Chu Weili set by sending the entire internal plan of the Chu conglomerate to me before they could act. Seeing that she now had nothing in her hands, I gently lifted her chin. No regrets? She pursed her lips, her eyes resolute. No regrets. I nodded. Good. Then I will give you a chance. Immediately, Chu Ran's eyes lit up. You can't go back on your word, you know. I left home with nothing but myself. Now you have to take responsibility for me for the rest of your life. I chuckled softly. Chu Weili is an iron-willed businesswoman, and you, well, you truly are a lovesick fool beyond cure. With Chu Ran by my side, Chu Weili could no longer create any waves. All right, I said. I will take care of you, and for how long depends on how you perform. Chu Ran smiled, her eyes sparkling. Don't worry, Boda, I plan to stick with you for life. A few days later, Mu Zhe called me, his voice full of curiosity. I heard Chu Ran and Chu Weili had a fierce argument. She even went on a hunger strike for a week until their grandmother had to step in to mediate. Chu Weili was so angry she cursed her sister as the family's disgrace. Boda, that older sister is certainly scheming. Are you sure? Are you really planning to stay with Chu Ran? I replied curtly. Yes, she transferred all her shares into my name. So this time, I'm forced to be serious. Mu Zhe practically yelled. What? She actually transferred the shares to you? Boda, teach me how you did it. How do you get a woman to agree to that? I laughed. Perhaps it's just my charm. I had won a major round, although there were losses, the profit gained far exceeded everything else. As for Lu Ruyan, she had placed the wrong bet. The Lu family heavily invested in projects that clashed with mine, believing my plan would fail. But when the results were the opposite, they couldn't withdraw their capital in time and suffered heavy losses. The Lu family's assets plummeted severely, losing nearly half their value. As for Yi Tingcheng, he had long since left her. He joined a professional motorcycle racing team, becoming the new prominent face in the speed world, attracting millions of online fans. He and Lu Ruyan officially broke up. That day I received a text message from him. Ji Boda, you were right. I will pursue my dream. Good luck. I only smiled softly after reading it and turned off my phone. A dream? For me, the dream had come true long ago. As for Lu Ruyan, she still tried to find a way to meet me. Once, I agreed, but I brought Chu Ran along. I looked at her, my voice chilling. You look so different, Ruyan. You've aged a lot, you're no longer as beautiful as before, and you lack any creativity. Your story is still a series of boring repetitions, nothing new. Utterly tedious. Chu Ran smiled, adding one final stab. My man only likes someone who knows how to listen, not the kind of person who is already thinking about leaving while having dinner. Hearing that, Lu Ruyan's face became blank, her eyes filled with despair. In that moment, I knew she finally understood that everything between us had completely ended, with no turning back. My next goal was simple, to keep moving forward. 3 years later, Chu Ran and I officially got engaged. On a warm winter afternoon, I took her hand, and together we gazed toward the horizon. The future ahead of us was calm, steady, and clear as the rising sun.